So how do you make a profitable home service business? There's all this advice out there of everyone telling you what to do, what not to do, what to stay away from. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. If you follow this, I've worked with so many home service businesses, so I know exactly what works and what doesn't work. So if you follow this, you're going to do really good for yourself. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I wanted to go over is you need to pick the right service to offer. I went through and picked a lot of the common businesses that people start or that people have of home service businesses. So I have one time, that's a one and done. That means you come in, you do a job, you get paid, you leave. You don't typically see that client maybe for a very long time. Then I have easy entry. Okay. So easy entry is a type of business that's just easier to get into. There's medium entry. So those ones are a little bit harder to get into, but they're still not too hard to get into. Then there's high entry and very high entry. Those businesses are the ones that there's a big barrier to entry. There's not as much people that do it because of that barrier to entry. And so those are typically the businesses that you see are the most successful. So there's one time, reoccurring, and recurring. The difference between reoccurring and recurring, just so that we have that all out of the way, reoccurring is the repeat customer model. So that is like a pressure washer. You do a job for someone, you do a good job, and then later they may call you again to come back and do it again. Then you have recurring, that subscription model. That is where someone's paying you monthly, or depending on whichever the subscription it is, it could be yearly, and you're doing a service for them over and over and over, so it's very maintainable. So those are both two very important things. And then the one time, like I said, one and done, you're in, you're out. So painting is the first one. It's easy entry. It's one time. You do it one time typically with people. They may call you back, but it's not necessarily reoccurring. And then medium ticket. So it's not super high profit margins. You're not getting a ton of money for each job you do. So with painting, really, you got to bring in a lot of business in order to make that successful, because a lot of people do it. So price cuts are huge in painting. So you just got to be careful with that. Getting in businesses that have easy entry, typically the prices are lower. Even though the work may be a lot, the prices are lower because anybody can do it. So mobile car detailing, again, anyone can do it. It's really easy to get into. So easy entry. Now it's recurring. And that's something that a lot of people look over. With mobile car detailing, you can do a recurring model. And if I was to do mobile car detailing, I would do a recurring model because it would be the best. But it is low ticket. Now, of course, there's things like ceramic coatings. I understand that. It's very niche, the people that do need ceramic coatings. But if you are getting a job like that, it's also very profitable. So it kind of varies. Of course, every single one of these is going to vary. I'm just generalizing over each of these companies. Then we have exterior cleaning. Very easy entry. Anyone with a truck can go get a pressure washer, throw it in their bed, and start doing exterior cleaning. So it's easy entry, but reoccurring is better than one time, of course. It is medium ticket. So it may be better than a painting business if you do it right. But again, it really depends on who's running the company. Painting can obviously do much better than exterior cleaning because it is a bit higher ticket, although I would put them both in the medium ticket area just because exterior cleaning has house washing, roof washing, fence cleaning and staining. Just because of that, it puts it in kind of the same ticket as painting. But then we go over to landscaping. Landscaping is easy entry. Anyone can do it. Again, it's kind of just labor. Now, the cool thing about landscaping is now we're getting into where it's kind of multiple different strategies you can take with it, because you got recurring, that's medium ticket thing. So that's, the different lawn care. People like doing different things with the garden beds seasonally. You can market that and you can get a medium ticket recurring business out of it, which is very powerful. Now, price cuts are huge in landscaping because of the easy entry. And then you have high ticket. So that's just backyards, front yards, big garden beds. I would put hardscaping in the same category as landscaping. So those high ticket jobs, one time it gives you both avenues. So I do like landscaping a lot, although it isn't it isn't that hard to get into, so you're going to run into a lot of price shopping starting a company like that. Now, remodeling is a hard one. That one's of course high ticket. Let me put that on there. So it's high ticket, it's one time, and it's medium entry. The reason I say remodeling's hard is because of the growth aspect of it, which I'll be going over later in the video. But growing a remodeling company is a lot harder than a lot of these other options that you have, just because of exactly what we're going to go over in a little bit. But it is medium entry. It's not the easiest. You need to have expertise to do remodeling properly, at least. And then, but it is one time, but it is very high ticket. So if you have a very big remodeling company, it can do amazing. But it's kind of one or the other. Either you're doing really bad or you're doing really good. So concrete, now we're getting into the businesses that are high entry. These ones are very good. Of course, there's a lot more than this. These are just examples. But concrete is high entry just because of equipment. You can rent equipment, of course, but getting the jobs are harder at the start. And then it is one time and high ticket. So it's a lot better than everything else we've gone over so far, really like concrete. And then if we go into HVAC, now we're into kind of the top of the line home service businesses. HVAC is very high entry. You have to have your license for HVAC and plumbing, which is why both of these are in very high entry, so because it's very high expertise to do things like this. Now it's one time, high ticket, and recurring, low ticket. So both of these are the same. Plumbing is reoccurring, so that makes slight advantage in the plumbing side of it, but we're not looking at any pricing right now, of course, so both of these is kind of potatoes. They're both really amazing companies to start. So looking at this, it gives you a really good idea of which company would be ideal for you to start depending on the type of person you are. Someone that may, that's willing to go to get the plumbing or HVAC license. Those are amazing. Again, another one up in that category would be like being an arborist and a tree service. Very good, very high entry, very expensive equipment. And then all of these, almost anyone can start the other companies, but each of them have their own skill that you need to have in order to do it properly. So the next thing that we're going to go over is to get your business profile up as well as your social medias. It's very important. This is just when you're starting any company, it's one of the first things you need to do. So first, your business profile, you need to get your business profile up. It's where you're going to get all of your reviews from your customers. That's why it's so important. Facebook, Nextdoor, and I put these in order of most important to least important. So most important, second most, third most. Instagram is kind of the least important, especially at the start of your company. So Google Business Profile, the very next stage is about reviews. You need to get that up because that's where you want to get the majority of your reviews. And getting reviews on Facebook and Nextdoor, of course, are always amazing. Moving on to the next one. This is offer something for free. So I actually, this is something that's probably going to be the most important for your growth early on in a company. A lot of people don't like to do that upfront work, especially for free. It depends on who you're working for. So being a business owner, getting something like this down and just accepting that if you want to grow quickly, this is something you have to do. There's, of course, plenty other strategies for growing. You could go to a bunch of networking groups, do all of that, but this will get you there quicker, I promise you. So if you go over, same companies, I listed all of them out and gave you an example. I just thought of these on my own, of course, other than the very generic one that everyone knows for painting. Do the first coat of paint for free on any size interior paint job. That's a really good one, but it's just so commonly used. I would probably try finding something else, which I do have something else I will show. Mobile car detailing. This is something doing so free full car detail with the purchase of any maintenance package. So this is a really good one because, like I said earlier, if you're in mobile car detailing, you want to make it a recurring model, not a one-time model. You can do both for bigger jobs like ceramic coatings, paint corrections, but most of your work, you want it to be recurring business because it is a very saturated business. And then if I go over to exterior cleaning, I would say to do a free driveway pressure washing with any whole house washing. So that one is just a generic one, but I do like it because a whole house wash is worth a lot more than doing a driveway for somebody, of course. And when I say whole house wash, I'm talking about roof and the sides. Now, landscaping, a lot of people do it. But first lawn service for free with seasonal contract. The reason I say that is because, now I'm sure this is offered by a million people. You may want to offer more for free than this, but it's just doing a service up front for free that they don't have to cover anything at all. And then they're just paying something they would be paying another company to do anyway, is something that people lean towards a lot because they're getting it. Okay, I'm getting it free this one time and then I'm paying for it anyway. So I have to do it in the future. So it's a good way to take clients from other lawn care businesses and maybe do a better deal than they're doing. Now, remodeling is one I struggled with finding, which is something I was talking about, the growth. I struggled with finding free things to do because, well, it's remodeling, it's a bit different. But free painting for kitchen remodeling, I kind of just threw that one in there. I would probably try finding something better. But I do have something I think would be better down the line. And then for concrete, my example is free trash can pad with any residential driveway. I really like that one. A lot of people don't have a place to put their trash can. They just throw it in their garage and it kind of irritates them. So I think something like that makes it to where they're like, that would be very useful for me. And then you're able to get the driveway. So that could be something that gets you closing the deal rather than a different company when someone's trying to figure out what company to use. HVAC, these are all going to come down to margins. As far as HVAC and plumbing, it's different than the other businesses because the margins are higher. But free furnace with the purchase of a new air conditioner and free maintenance package for 2 years after new install. And then for plumbing, free faucet installation with the purchase of a whole house filtration system and free maintenance package for 2 years with the full house water filtration. So that one, I really like those. It's going to depend on the margins of your own company, what you do. But doing something where they don't have to pay for something for free, like the faucet or the furnace, are really good value packages. And then they're paying for your main thing. And then you're offering maintenance after it. So it looks like it's going to be easier to work with you rather than another company. So let's go on to the number 4. Use a completely free offer to get as many reviews as possible. Now, this is something a lot of people stay away from, but it's so important if you're trying to grow quickly and be profitable fast. If you're not doing this and you're only doing this over here, the person that does the other one is going to grow a lot quicker than you. And it's definitely a lot more work to do this, but it's going to pay off so much in the long run. So Facebook groups and Nextdoor are your friend. Those are very important. The reason I say that is because when you're doing things completely for free, a concern is your route, right? You may drive really far for something free and it's too far for you. So maybe you're in some neighborhood Facebook groups and then you get your free offer out there to go do it for people and you're doing it in exchange for reviews. And then I say, don't be scared of door knocking, because door knocking is very powerful when it comes to this, because you're going door, 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 door. And if you're doing something quickly at each of these places to get that review, then you're able to knock a lot of them out very quickly. So I recommend to do this all the way up until you get 100 reviews, which sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of the golden spot you want to be at, where you are now going to start getting business organically just because of those reviews on your business profile, specifically on your business profile. All of these reviews you want to get on your business profile. And of course, if you can also get them to leave a review on Facebook or something like that, it's worth it. So these are, again, the exact same categories we were going over. I came up for one for every single one of them, something completely free that you can do in order to get these reviews, because you need it to be fast. So for painting, I think you should paint curbs for free, because a lot of people, it's a super easy thing to say yes to. If you go up to someone and say, hey, I want to paint your curb number for free in exchange for a review, they're most likely going to say yes. And doing that 100 times is not going to take you that long at all. Now, mobile car detailing, free exterior wash. It doesn't take too long, maybe 30 minutes. And you can do that door knocking. Same with painting curbs. I recommend both of those being door knocking. And you're just knocking it out really quickly, going door, door, door. Because if you can get even just 4 reviews in one day of doing that, it's worth it. It's not going to take you an extremely long time to get to 100 reviews. Now, exterior cleaning, free mailbox cleaning, and free patio washing. I gave 2 of them because not everyone's going to have a mailbox that's like a brick mailbox that they may need soft washed or pressure washed to get it cleaned. But then they may have a patio that you can wash. Now, there's going to be a lot for exterior cleaning, and you could even door knock and just look at their house and say, what could I clean here for free and for that review? And that is probably what I would recommend doing, is just go house to house and clean whatever you think needs to be cleaned for free that's small. Now, landscaping. So this is free front yard lawn mowing and edging is what I came up with. Now, this depends on how much work you want to do. The front yard could be very big. So you may just do free edging of the front yard for free or free mowing. It really just depends. It doesn't take long if you have the right equipment to mow a lawn and edge a lawn. So I would do both in order to get a nice review from it. And then remodeling. This one took me a lot longer to come up with because remodeling is very different from all of these services because of how high ticket the service is. It's hard to find small things you can do for people for free that will be fast and you can get the review. So I came up with wall and door protector service, which is pretty much you have all your wall door protectors. That's like the thing behind the door that keeps it from hitting against the wall. And you offer to just put it in as many rooms as you decide to in the house completely for free. And I think that one is something, because it's instantly solving a problem for these people, I think a lot of people are going to say yes to it, and it's super cheap to do it. So I really did like the one I came up with for that one, and I would definitely recommend, if you're a remodeling company, just to try that out. For concrete, again, very hard one. It's a very high ticket service. It's a one-time service. It's different than all the other ones. So the cracks in your driveway where you have the expansion joint and the seal, a lot of people have that all screwed up. So you could go through, clean that out, and then put in a seal for free, just on one of them, or however many you choose, in order to get that free review, depending on the cost. For HVAC, I came up with free HVAC weatherization and maintenance. I like that a lot because it's super easy to do for an HVAC company. If you're getting a review for that, it's not going to take you long, and you could do a lot of those very quickly. For plumbing, free drain treatment for all sinks. Again, super fast. You can get it taken care of really quickly. I think a lot of people would say yes to that if you post it in a couple Facebook groups and on Nextdoor. And then you can even get recommendations on Nextdoor to use your company, which is kind of a secret trick in there, and along with getting the reviews. To get a recommendation in your local Nextdoor, you can get a lot of reviews that way as well. So that's going to take us over to number 5, and that is get a website up if possible. Do it sooner. The reason I don't say it sooner is just because a lot of people don't know how to mess with all the online stuff. So everything I've set up till now isn't too hard. A Google business profile, that's going to give you a lot of trouble sometimes with verifications, but it's vital that it's one of the first things you do. So you just have to stick it out and get it up. Now, getting a website up, you have a couple options. I would recommend doing that along with your social medias when I said to at the start, and I would do this option to start. So it's nearly free. You just have to purchase your domain, which is $20. Super cheap. And then I say it's only good at the start because I wouldn't recommend keeping it long term, because you're not going to grow based off of that website. You want it to be an asset for you later down the line. So you can get a domain from GoDaddy, and they have a free website builder. So there's plenty of different people that do the exact same thing as GoDaddy does. That is how I would recommend starting to get your website up if you can't afford to get a professional website done. But the problem is it's not search engine optimized. So on the back end of the website, you don't have the same options you have with a professional company that builds your website. They have a lot more options with metadata and optimizing things on the back end to make sure that the website is actually becoming an asset for you. So the problem with it is it's not search engine optimized. So you can't do much on the back end to actually get these websites to rank. That's why they're free. They're just built with AI and very quick. They don't really do anything for you other than somewhere for customers to go to collect their information. And you're not going to have a lot of integrations. I also say that on there. The thing about integrations is you're not going to notice it early on, but later down the line, when you have your lead flows, you have your systems together, and you need to integrate certain things onto your website, you're going to really notice when you can't put those integrations on a website like that. You just really can't. And of course, it's not going to look near as professional as getting a professional website done. And that, of course, leads us over to the best option, but it's going to cost a lot more. You get a domain and you get a professional search engine optimized website from a home service exclusive marketing company. The reason I say home service exclusive is because just a generic marketing company that works with everybody is not going to get you the same results as a home service business exclusive one that knows exactly what you need. And it's going to be search engine optimized. Hopefully you need to make sure you hire the right company, looks professional, and you have countless integration options. Depends on what it's built on. If it's built on WordPress, you can pretty much do anything you'd like to do. So let's go over to number 6, and that is get a marketing company with proven results for home service businesses to do your search engine optimization on your Google business profile and website. So the reason you need one with proven results is so many people get called and they just get sold to any marketing company that says they work with home service businesses, but they don't actually look and see clients that have worked with them and see the proven results that they've gotten them, which is, of course, very important. So anytime you're trying to get a marketing company, make sure you see what they've done for clients in the past so you can make sure they can do a good job for you. You don't want to be the test dummy. And then number 7, expand into local service ads. So what we just covered is the Google business profile and website search engine optimization. Both of those are amazing. The Google business profile is probably going to do a lot more for you early on because website SEO is a lot more expensive. Now, sometimes before you move into the website SEO, local service ads is going to do a lot more for you because you're just paying per qualified lead. So at this point, you've got your 100 reviews doing your free service, and you're probably getting some organic business from your business profile from the organic rankings of getting that many reviews and building up that much trust with Google. So at that point, you have the choice to do search engine optimization on the business profile, local service ads, website SEO. I would personally recommend you do Google business profile, search engine optimization, and local service ads at the same time on that business profile that you have those 100 reviews on. The reason is local service ads, you're paying per qualified lead. So Google's AI listens to the calls that you're getting, and you only pay for the ones that are actually looking for the services that you offer. So it's a very powerful tool. And then that mix with getting your business profile search engine optimization done is going to expand your radius so much very quickly. So for local service ads, you have Google business profile section. So that's where you're ranking among just the normal businesses. So you can pay for that ranking. And then Google guaranteed section is actually the section at the very top of Google, which is a very good section to be in. That's where you're paying per qualified lead, like I said. And that's what makes it so powerful. You're at the very front and you're only paying for the people that are wanting to use your service. So that brings us to number 9, which is scale with automations and sales systems that run themselves. Almost every single home service business owner, they get down the line and then they're still doing all of the work. That is something you want to learn to get out of sooner rather than later so you can focus on scaling the company. So you need to automate your sales systems. You need to automate management for job management and things like that. And that's going to open up your own time in order to focus on marketing and scaling the company from there. Now, at this point, you're already a good-sized company. You're already doing really well. I would recommend getting a CRM and sales system set up earlier. But if you do all of these things and you get your 100 reviews doing the free service on your business profile, you start search engine optimization on that business profile and local service ads, get a really high-quality website, At this point, your referral base has grown a lot organically just from everything you've already done. You're already going to be getting business organically as well through that business profile. So you're in a really good spot. And at this point, all it is scale. And there's a lot more things that you got to put in place whenever you're scaling. So I can do another video about that in the future. But this is going to get you to an amazing point where you're not always worrying about when is the next job going to come in. So as a home service, just apply all of these tips that I gave you here. And the one that is going to do the absolute most for you is getting those 100 reviews by doing a free service. And like I said, completely for free. You don't want to say, I'm going to do this free service with this, because you're not going to get as many reviews as quickly. When you get up to 100 reviews, you're going to start outpacing everybody. And if you continue to do it even after the 100 reviews, you're just going to blow past all of your competition. So take this, apply it. Thank you for watching the video. I'll be coming out with a video on how to set up your Google business profile soon, because it can sometimes be complicated. So I'm going to go in detail on absolutely everything you could possibly need to know on getting that up.